Day grade 12s. Today we are introducing our new act, which is the Skills Development Act. This act focuses on improving the skills of the individuals which were previously disadvantaged. We all know that blacks, Indians, coloreds, and disabled people were previously disadvantaged. It was hard for them to acquire skills or new skills. Therefore, the government decided to enact this act so that they may also have chances to improve their skills. Right, let's move to the next slide, which is the purpose of the Skills Development Act. Why are we having Skills Development Act in South Africa? It's because the companies and also the government, they are intending to develop the skills of people in South Africa in order to increase or improve productivity. We all know that when people are highly skilled, they are likely to produce more and produce maybe better quality goods and services. This act also encourages companies to invest in education and also encourages training of its workers. They invest in education by spending money, they pay levies, that is skills development levy, the 1% of their salary bill, so that the workers may do learnership or may improve their skills. Also, this act, it is intending to improve the chances of individuals who were previously disadvantaged, their chances of getting employed because they are skilled, unlike before when they were unskilled. So we can conclude that when someone is highly skilled or when someone has been trained, his chances or her chances of getting employed will improve. But let us go to the impact of Skills Development Act, advantages and disadvantages. Right, starting with the positive impact. Skills Development Act trains employees to improve productivity in the workplace. Workers will acquire skills. After they've acquired skills, the productivity will improve, which will be the benefit of the company and the economy at large. Also, we all know that when people are skilled, instead of them searching for employment, they can become self-employed. Thus, we say it promotes self-employment and also black entrepreneurship, which means we will see many Africans or many black people starting their own businesses after they have been trained. For example, someone who has done learnership under plumbing or electrical engineering, he can start his own business which offers electrical, maybe repairs, installing solar panels to local communities. But let us move to negative impact, that is disadvantages. Skills Development Act increases cost as the process requires large amount of paperwork. This paperwork comes from registering someone who is intending to do learnership, recording the training, and all other related activities. Also, we may say another disadvantage is that the implementation process of the SDA can be difficult, and also it's not easy to monitor and control because this act is broad. Skills programs may not always address the training needs of employees. For example, as a worker, I may want to do or to train in a certain field, while the company may want me to do another training which relates to their production output so that the company may benefit better output, while I want to do something different which does not even relate to the company activities. Then the last negative impact or disadvantage is that skills development levy could bring financial burden. In what sense? Because companies must pay their 1% salary bill. Thus, if the company is having a salary bill greater than 500,000, they are supposed to pay 1%. So financial struggling businesses may fail to pay or to meet the requirements. But let's move to another subtopic, which is the discriminatory actions according to the Skills Development Act. Discriminatory actions according to the Skills Development Act. Right, the discriminatory actions are focusing on areas where you may feel as an employee you have been discriminated within the workplace. Right, the first discriminatory action, it says preventing employees from signing for a learnership due to their age or position in the workplace. For example, you may say, because you are old or you are about to retire, you can't do this learnership. By doing so, you've discriminated that person. Or maybe you may say, because you are young, we can't allow you to do this learnership. It is for people who are above maybe 30 years or 40 years. By doing so, you've discriminated the young population or young workers. Also, the unfair promotion of skills and development training to certain individuals. For example, you may wish that people who can do training are only males. You exclude females. You may think that plumbing can only be done by males instead of accommodating every gender or everyone. This means you have discriminated females. Also, providing employment services to gain without being registered as an employer. But we all know that for you to train or to allow workers to do learnership, you have to be registered as an employer. So by doing so, you are discriminating workers, as these workers will get trained or do learnership in your company while your company is not registered. Then another discriminating factor or action is that companies tend to furnish false or publish false information in any prescribed document. False information about learnership, where you may maybe tell the workers that this learnership is only for specific population groups, while under normal circumstances, the training is for everyone. This becomes discriminatory because you are excluding other groups or population groups. Right, we are moving to penalties for non-compliance. Penalties. What is a penalty? A penalty is a punishment. Companies or businesses which fails to comply with Skills Development Act are likely or they are supposed to be penalized or punished. The forms of punishment are listed below. The first one is that the businesses that do not pay skills development levy may not offer learnership or claim grants from the Skills Development Act. So the company is now being punished because the managers, they decided not to pay levy. Their business will not be allowed to offer learnership. Also, they are not going to be allowed to claim grants, which becomes a challenge to them. Also, a labor inspector could order the business to stop operating as if they find that the business is engaging into illegal practices. And also, a company may pay a fine. This fine is normally stipulated by the Department of Labor. That is the amount to be paid by that company. It is stipulated by the Department of Labor. Right, let's move to another subtopic, which is ways in which businesses can comply with Skills Development Act. What is to comply? Comply means to follow. So businesses are supposed to follow or comply with the law, that is Skills Development Act. Failure to comply, the business may be forced to pay fine, or maybe in simple terms, the business may be penalized. Right, the first compliance or way of complying. Employers who collect pay should register with SARS. They are supposed to register with SETA. Sorry. In simpler terms, we are saying for an employer or business, as long as that business it is paying tax, that is, they collect tax, pay as you earn from the salaries of employees, they are supposed to register with sector education training authorities. It is a must for them to register with sector education training authorities. Why? Because they pay, because they collect pay, which is pay as you earn. Also, 1% of employers' payroll has to be paid over sector education training authorities. 1% of the salary bill. If your salary bill is greater than 500,000, it is a must for your business to pay 1%. So they will calculate 1% of that salary budget or salary bill, which is 500,000 and more, which must be contributed to sector as what we call skills development levy. Also, businesses should register with SARS in the area in which their business is classified in terms of sector education training authorities. Remember, businesses are under different sectors. Therefore, they are supposed to register with SARS according to their category. Also, employers should submit a workplace skills plan and provide evidence that it was implemented. They have to provide the evidence that they have implemented that workplace skills plan. Also, business which is having more than 50 employees, they should appoint skills development facilitator. The skills development facilitator is there to facilitate the training so that the employees may register and do learnership. Let us go to the roles or functions of sector education training authorities. The role or functions of sector education training authorities. The first role is that they should report to the Director General. Secondly, they promote and establish learnerships. They collect levies from the companies and pay out grants as required. They provide accreditation to skills development facilitators. For example, if you want to be a skills development facilitator, you must apply for an accreditation from the sector education training authorities. They also register learnership agreements between the companies or between the trainer and trainee. They register learnership agreements, learnership programs, so that all the training may be done under registered circumstances or situations. Let's discuss about how sectors or sector education training authorities are funded. As they operate, where do they get the funds or finance? Right, the first source of funds or funding is that skills development levies paid by employers. They become the source of funding to sector. 80% is distributed to the different sector education training authority. 20% is paid into National Skills Fund. Also, sector education training authorities, they get donations and grants from the public. They also get the surplus funds from the government institution or government departments. For example, they can get surplus funding from a well-established or well-profitable public company or parastatal. Funds received from rendering services. This means that sector education training authorities, they offer certain services and they charge fees or prices. Right, let's define the word learnership. What is learnership? We always hear about this. We need to know the definition of the word learnership. Right, learnership is defined as a theoretically or practically training opportunities that can lead to a recognized occupation qualification. It is also a structured learning program completed during work hours for a specified period of time. Meaning to say you work while you are training. That is why we are saying it is completed during working hours. It is also an agreement between a learner or trainee and employer or training provider. For example, you are doing learnership for banking. You are going to sign an agreement between you as a trainee and Standard Bank as a trainer or training provider. That is the meaning of learnership. Let's quickly go to the meaning of National Skills Development Strategy. National Skills Development Strategy. Right? It increases access programs that train people. It increases access to programs that train people. It also promotes a public, that is FET colleges or TVET college system that has programs to meet the skills needed by sector education training authorities. It also addresses low level of language and mathematical skills among the youth or adults. It make better use of workplace-based skills development. There's also defined the word human resource development strategy. That is the meaning of the human resource development strategy. Human resource development strategy addresses skills shortages in the South African workforce. If we have like a shortage of computer programmers, the human resource development strategy will address that by allowing people to get trained in that particular field. It aims at achieving faster economic growth, higher employment levels, and reduce the level of poverty. It also promotes social development, social justice, and it helps to alleviate or eradicate poverty. It also develops short-term and long-term workforce skills. It further improves the supply of skills. When we are having shortage, the human resource development strategy will improve or increase the supply of those skills. Lastly, it increases the employee participation in lifelong learning. This marks the end of our subtopic, the Skills Development Act. Thank you.